Finally went ahead and got my plants out. Got over my paranoia of getting them out too soon. We've had unbelievable weather. This is a Cherokee Purple in one of those 18-gallon rope buckets. Put him out 4 days ago, and he's taken to it very well. And that's just plain old Miracle-Gro standard potting mix there. I did add some compost in there and some, fertilizer and stuff like that, obviously, and some lime. This was just a last-second thing because I had X amount of tomatoes I wanted to grow, and I didn't really have all the space set aside for it. I haven't really been planting or doing a whole lot of planting this year, so I threw this together 4 days ago. I had this container, and I had some soil, and I had the tomatoes, so I threw it in there. Peas. I don't know how they're going to do. It's been so hot. We basically, in our area in Middle Tennessee, we went from winter to summer. And, I got stuff out in plenty of time, but I don't know how these guys are going to handle it. I'm letting them go, just let them go. And as you can see, I've got weed fabric down because I've got grass growing everywhere in my beds. When I mowed, I kind of got behind on that. Some of the grass, undesirable grass really, was going to seed, and when I mowed, it threw all that seed everywhere. And that stuff landed in the beds and grew like a maniac. I wish I could grow grass like that in my yard. I just put out these cucumbers about 3 or 4 days ago as well. They've doubled in size, so they're really happy in their new environment. On the right-hand side, I've got 2 Carolina, and then on this side, I've got 2 Sumter. One's a slicing type, one's a pickling type, and that's all I'm gonna. That'll be plenty of cucumbers for me and the wife. This is a Amazon chocolate, which did so well for us last year. I went to decide to go ahead and put him out in a big bed and see if he does just as well as he did last year. They produced so many tomatoes for us. My neighbors loved them. We ate the heck out of them. It was a very good producer. It tolerated the heat. So, out he goes. And that is just from a small seed packet that I had forgotten about that I found. As you all know, I'd lost all my seeds. A lot of this, like the cucumber, the peas, I think that Cherokee Purple, I think I got all that from. This is a beefsteak, and same thing, just 4 days ago. Throw them in one of these 18-gallon rope buckets that you can get at Fred's or Dollar General or Big Lots, anywhere from $5 to $7 each. You can't beat that. Drill some holes in it, and it will hold a 2 cubic foot bag of soil just right. So, I'm not against Miracle-Gro regular plain potting mix. I don't use the extra of this and whatever, and that stuff drains out so fast, so it's no big deal. The cantaloupe, and I'm gonna try to get him going upward up a fence and try to support the cantaloupes with the board and stuff. Some of the tomatoes, the peas, the cucumbers, I got all that from Paula. So Paula, thank you so much, because I am trying to spend as little money as I possibly can this year on doing what I got to do. I'm using existing pots, existing soil I had, my own compost, what few seeds I actually found after I lost my seeds. I found a few stashes of seeds here and there. But it's pretty much Paula. It's kind of Paula's garden almost, because she sent me so much stuff. This is a Purple Dog Creek that I did have I think like 3 seeds left, so I went ahead and tried it, and it germinated. I don't know how well it'll do. It didn't do well last year, but I'm going to give it another shot. Got another tomato here. It is, oh Lord, I'm trying to think now. Why didn't I mark that one? Which one this is? That volunteer cherry. I found a paper plate up on the cabinet, one of the cabinets. I had tons of seed from this plant. I lost it all when we lost our seeds. Found a paper plate that had some drying on it, which means I fermented them and saved them. So somebody's looking down on me because I could not go out and buy these again. These are from that volunteer cherry. This is the Big Rainbow. Thank you, Paula. This is Rutgers. I don't know who this came from Paula, but it said from M somebody. I don't know if it's M.I. Gardner or MPH Gardner or who, or if it's a bush type or a vining type. So I'll have to message Paul on that one. so I know what to expect on that. The black crim, again, from Paula. So you guys thank Paula. She helped me out. I think 70% of what I've grown here is from Paula. So I sure appreciate that. Icicle radish seems to do okay in the heat. It's been, I've pulled some, and they're a little hot and spicy, but they're very tender still. So I'm letting them go. Once it pushes its head up out of the ground, you know, and it's about 3/4 inch diameter, whatever, they're ready to pull. Carrots, of course, these guys got a very late start, and of course the temperatures got so hot so fast. It's really, I'm not sure what's going to happen with these carrots, but I just tossed them in a little spot I had, so no great loss. Got a volunteer basil coming up right there. And that's all we'll need. These guys, oh my goodness, this basil grows fantastic in my area. And one plant is more than enough for the wife and myself. I think oregano. The wife says it's oregano. I thought it was sage. I guess I just need to look up some pictures to know what it is. But this is another volunteer, and it's just doing wonderfully. Absolutely fantastic. So we can count on that. And the basil coming back every year, it looks like, pretty much. If I let some of it go to seed, they seem to do very well. So we're kind of got a good head start on the herbs. My bell peppers out. I've got a couple red and a couple green, which, it's about the same thing, really, to be honest. But I'm not going to put these guys out in the garden until, for a little while. I've got it on the back is a couple of jalapeno. The way I judge plants is, as far as tomatoes and peppers, I always wait until temperatures at night stay above 55 degrees is when I put my tomatoes out, which I've done. And for peppers, 65 degrees, when they can stay in that 60-65 degree range and not drop much below 60, that's when I put my peppers out, because they really benefit from that heat. You know, you put them out there, they might grow, but they're stunted. They don't like it. There's a lot of things that peppers don't like. They're very finicky. So I always wait until after I've had my tomatoes out, usually a couple weeks or so, and then it's kind of safe in that overnight 60s range, at least in my area, and that's when I'll put these actually out in the garden. These are squash. I just picked these up at that sale at Home Depot. I just grabbed a couple little cups, and when I got home I realized there were 7 plants out of those 2 little cups, so I separated them out, and they're doing very well. They like their new homes. Crookneck squash, yellow, and they'll probably replace over there where those peas are, because I just don't expect those peas to do very well in this. It's been actually pretty darn hot, so we'll see. I'm letting the peas do their thing, letting these guys kind of sit and do their thing, and they're waiting in the wings if those peas don't, take off all of a sudden and do something crazy. This is where my old volunteer cherry was. I mended this area. I've put in compost and dug it in, some lime, different things. It's kind of in an area that gets afternoon shade and a little bit of morning shade. It gets about 6 hours of sun, and it gets some relief, which is going to be really good, come midsummer here. This is for my competition entry, this little area for the Grow Your Largest Tomato competition that M.I. Gardner kind of threw out there. I actually didn't have a plant that I wanted to use. I mean, I could have tried to go with a brandywine or a beefsteak or something like that, which I had already growing. But I had I had another plant, or some seeds, I should say, from Delicious, which can grow some pretty big tomatoes. So I actually just started a few days ago some Delicious seeds. I've prepped this area, and I'm going to baby those things. I'm going to put one off in here, and this is going to be my competition plant. I'm not going to go for what I typically do, is go for taste and harvest and quantity and all that. It's been a long time since I was like in my 20 teens or whatever that I actually was tried to grow the biggest tomatoes I could. So this is kind of going back, and will be fun, because this plant is going to be trained strictly to grow large tomatoes. So we'll keep an eye on that, and it'll be something interesting, and I can do just videos on that on its own. Talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Bye.